Hi, it's Monday, April 20th. So since it's Monday, we're getting ready here to do our Monday math column. Make sure you have your first and last name entered so you get credit for it. Let's look at the first problem. It says, which of the following is a related multiplication fact? So they're looking for that keyword multiplication fact for 42 divided by 6 equals 7. I know I need to choose a multiplication answer. So the first two would be my possible answers. My last one's addition, so that doesn't make sense. It's looking for multiplication fact. All right, so let's look at the numbers they give us and the problem. All right, and they have a division and we're looking for multiplication. So I know if I use these same numbers, it's a fact family for division and multiplication. So I'm going to go backwards. Since we have division to start with, we're going to undo it with multiplication. So let's go backwards and we line up our numbers. All right. But here, since we're going the opposite direction, we're going to multiply these two. And when I multiply 7 times 6, I get 42. Or I can do 7 times 6 this way, or it'd be 6 times 7 equals 42. So either of those would be a correct answer because they're using all three of the same numbers. It's a fact family, and they're looking for a multiplication problem. On the second problem, it says Teresa was making paper snowflakes. She made 3 groups of 6 snowflakes. Suddenly, she spilled water and ruined 8 snowflakes. How many does Teresa now have? All right, so we see that in this problem, I have 3 numbers. I have the number 3, 6, and 8. So now I'm going to go back and get a picture in my head of what I'm reading. Teresa was making paper snowflakes. So she made 3 groups of 6 snowflakes. All right, so what would that look like to me? Well, I have my numbers 3, 6, and 8. Those were the numbers I had to use in my problem. And I have 3 groups right here. I'm going to put the number 6 for 6 snowflakes in each group. All right. So I can either count by 6s or I can multiply 3 times 6. So if I go 6 plus 6, I get 12 plus 6 is 18. So right there, she has 18 snowflakes. Then it says that she loses 8 of them. All right. So 18, and if you get rid of it, you're minusing 8. So if I have 18 and I minus 8, 8 minus 8 is 0, and 1 minus nothing is still 1. So 18 minus 8 will give me 10. All right. So she now has 10 snowflakes after she spilled water and ruined 8 of them. The third problem says Joey is building a garden in his backyard. He wants it to be 9 feet long and 10 feet wide. What will be the area of his garden? All right, so we have the key word there, area, and then I need to use my numbers 9 and 10. All right, so what I'll think about there is area means length times width, and they said 9 feet long and 10 feet wide. All right, so my area, when I multiply my length times my width, I will get my area. And it reminds me of how we do our arrays, all right? And then we put our multiplication sign. It could also be on this side. So 9 times 10 or 10 times 9, I'm using the numbers they give me. And if I count by tens, 9 times, so if I go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 bundles of 10. 9 times 10 is 90. So our area of the garden is, sorry about that, our area of the garden is 90. The last problem for today reads, what is the area of the figure below? So again, the word area, all right, that's my key word. Look at all the numbers I have though. So I have to figure out the area. I know area is length times width. So let me put my board up here, all right? And there I have area equals length times width, but I have this odd shape. Remember last week they had that dotted line for us to divide it into two different rectangles. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'll put my dotted line in right here. Now I have two different rectangles that I need to solve the area for. If I look, my length here is 7 and my width is 3. So if I do 7 times 3, I'll get the area here. And I know when I count by sevens, it goes 7, 14, 21. So 3 sevens is 21. That's the area for my first rectangle. Now it's a little tricky. This next rectangle, I have to find the area here. Remember, I have a dotted line going down right there. So this whole line is 10, but I've taken 3 off of the 10. And how I know I've taken 3 off is opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. So if this up here is 3, this must be 3. And I have to say 3 plus what equals 10. If I do 3 plus 7 equals 10. My opposite sides here, those work out. So now I'm going to do my length times width of this rectangle. And I have length is 7. I found out that's true here too. Opposite sides of a rectangle are the same. So I have 7 times 2. And I know if I count by sevens, I've already done that. So 7 plus 7 is 14. So the area of this rectangle is 14. Now I just add those two together. So my first one that I found was 21, the area of the first rectangle. The area of my second rectangle is 14. When I add those together, 4 plus 1 is 5. And 2 plus 1 is 3. So my final answer will be 35 when I add 21 plus 14. So that's how I find the area when there's an odd shape. I need to divide it into two rectangles and solve for length times width. Add the two rectangles together. All right, make sure at the bottom you click the submit button when you finish doing your own paper, and then if there's a blue button at the very end on the Google Classroom form that says mark as done, please click that blue mark as done button. If you don't do that, it will say it's not turned in. All right, well, have a marvelous Monday.